Good morning. So, I miss my Mopar. And there's a couple of different reasons I miss my Mopar. I miss Valkyrie, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The way that kind of went down and who it went to and what happened to the car, I touched the handle. To this day, it still kind of irks me because I loved that car, but it was time for something faster. I bought that 1320 with that massive Texas Speed cam in it, right? I actually love that car and I regret selling that thing too. Like, quite a bit actually. But, we picked up the Brabus. This thing has been fun as hell. And I'm telling you right now, this would absolutely slaughter every other car I've ever owned. Hands down, it wouldn't even be close. But the one thing that this thing loses at compared to all my other cars is maintenance. And that's what we're gonna get into today. We're gonna talk about the Mercedes tax. Never mind the Brabus tax, because let's be serious, I've already had to deal with that too. But we're gonna talk about the Mercedes tax, because Mopar, me and Eric got so good at those things that it wasn't a problem. Oh, what is going on with the camera, bro? Really? Such a good take. Whatever, we're keeping it. It's that hot. Understand what I'm sacrificing for you guys. My camera's fogging up. This is ridiculous. It's 10 o'clock in the morning and it is already 99 degrees. My camera was in a nice 68 degree house, so I guess this would be expected, but we're keeping it in the video. We're gonna keep it raw for you guys. Hold on, let me go find something to defog this thing. This thing's straight up. I have defogged it now 3 times. What is the deal? I think we're good. We should be good. Back to what I was saying. So Mopar, one of the big advantages of Mopar is if something broke, there are dealerships everywhere with stockpiles of parts. AutoZone, O'Reilly's, Napa, Advanced Auto, they all hold American parts. I have learned the hard way now a couple times on old girl here, you're on top of it right now, that getting parts for this ain't that easy at all. Even worse, you need to do a lot of cross-referencing to make sure that the parts that you get from said store, including the spark plugs, are the correct part number and the correct size, because I've already had that issue. So one of the things we're gonna do today, I gotta go get this thing inspected. We're gonna go over to Christian Brothers real quick, have those guys run through this thing. We're fogging up again. What is the deal? Whatever, we're running with it. And then after that, we're gonna go see my guys over at Modern Mercedes, and we're gonna talk about the Mercedes tax, because it came to my attention, my unfortunate attention, that we've spent over $10,000 in repairs on this thing. Now, keep in mind, the gentleman that owned this car before me drove the shit out of this car. He has a Instagram, and I was able to find that and watch some of the videos and go, oh, okay. Just because you can afford it doesn't mean you have the skill to drive it, and that's all that Instagram proved to me. So let's go for a ride. So I think this thing was having fogging issues because I had an ND filter on it, and I took it off and it's kind of solving it. I don't know, but let's get it started up. By the way, we've had a couple of things changing here. I'm not going to shout out the company because we had some words. They didn't do what I wanted. Notice I'm missing the stripe up here. It's all good. It's all good. For the price, I won't complain. But we got a carbon wheel in here now. We got rid of that horrible Alcantara. I don't know what human being on the planet thought the Alcantara was a good idea, but let me and the rest of the car enthusiasts, I'll speak for them right now, tell you, it's not. These things get oily. We don't wash our hands constantly. We don't wear gloves while we drive. Stop putting Alcantara on steering wheels. It's stupid. Put it everywhere else. We love it. But if you put it on a steering wheel, it's just going to get replaced. You're wasting money. Or you're not, and that's a great business ploy, and you're putting crappy fur on steering wheels. I don't know. Oh yeah, you see my new brow? It's because Texas came after me for tint. Let's roll that down. We have her in individual mode with AC on, because damn. And then I was so calm. Oh, what a letdown today. That was so calm. All right, let's go to Christian Brothers. Dude, my neighborhood has a stupid thing, right, where these curbs are elevated. So I had to go out and buy race ramps to be able to get out of here without destroying the carbon front lip, which is part of that Brabus tax we're going to talk about, because that wasn't cheap. I mean, I guess the one thing I shouldn't complain about with the new tint is I mean, it's phenomenal visibility now. I didn't realize how tinted the windshield was. Oh God, yeah, that makes a difference. Okay, no. Maybe this time you guys are right. Okay, so car's inspected, we passed, we're all good. Ya boy is running out of gas real quickly, and I'm stuck in a traffic jam. Oh no, it doesn't look like a traffic jam? Bruh, why? You would think they would want to get out of the sun. You would think. I could be wrong, maybe that's what they're into. I'm not, especially at 96 degrees. Sick. So, we play. We go do dumb stuff to keep ourselves occupied and waste as much gas as possible. I guess this kind of goes over to the next subject, which is how much does it cost to fill this thing up? We are on 93. No methanol yet. Wink, wink. So we'll see how much that costs. I am using Kroger fuel points, so you got to factor that in too, because we ain't gonna get political. If you know me, I think you know where I stand, but gas prices going back up, dog. You gotta get something done. So we're at $3.60 a gallon. Let's see what it comes out to. So gas is not something I'm worried about, but we're gonna factor it in just for the sake of the video. The reason why I'm not worried about it is I know I drive like an absolute idiot, and I have a wonderful time. And for all of you, like the person who came in and commented on my short the other day, cars are tools, not toys. Shut up. Don't just step on somebody else's happiness because you haven't found any in your life. This stupid thing makes me happy. If I'm having a bad day, I go for a drive. If I want to do something stupid, I go for a drive. If I want to waste money, I buy a mod. Speaking of buying mods, I'm kind of changing how I'm going to do things, right? We've only done a couple of mods of this car so far. Intake, we did modal work, rear control alarm, so we can adjust the camber so I'm not eating tires as much, because I was going through tires every 2 months. Outrageous. Well, I think we're good. Every 2 months, which was just ballistic. Had to fix that. We've done the carbon fiber steering wheel, but I'm gonna make a pledge from here on out. And this is gonna be something stupid, but I need y'all's help to do it. Every single mod I do on this car from now on has to be paid for by YouTube. Not putting my outside money into it. The economy sucks too much. I can't just be dropping money on absolutely everything. So with that being said, one of the main things that we're gonna do now is every dollar that comes from YouTube is gonna get reinvested in YouTube. Whether it be we go do an event, whether it be we mod a vehicle. So I need y'all's help here. Leave a comment. You don't even have to subscribe. If you want to subscribe, hey, welcome to the family. But if you don't, drop a comment. You can tell me how much this video sucks. I don't care. It all helps. So let's see how much this was. All in all, $54.24, 15.3 gallons. I had just under a quarter tank left. So not horrible, not great. My 4Runner gets way worse gas mileage and costs way more to fill. So. Now, one of the things I want you guys to understand with this, I'm only doing mods for money I make on YouTube. This is not me sitting here going, I need money from you guys. We're going to do subscriptions, blah, blah. We might come up with merch later. Actually, I already have a name for the company. I'm not putting it out there because people like stealing trademarks. By the way, if you're somebody who owns a company, quiet, and you don't up your trademarks, I'm going to buy the trademark. It's going to happen. But this is not me saying I need crowdfunding. I don't want money from you guys. What I'm saying is I have to increase my effort to attract more of you guys, and I'm gonna do that. Let's go do something crazy real quick. I know of a hidden little bridge spot over here where I can get you guys some revs, where I can get you guys some blow-off noise, and maybe, just maybe, I'm able to get you guys a launch. So let's go see if it's open. All right, so I found my little hidden spot, and if you check it out, you probably get pretty good acoustics in here, right? I've got my little tripod thing on, and we're gonna set it up, get you a couple revs. I wanna show off the blow-off noise because this has the vent to atmosphere Rentec blow-off valves on it. They're loud, dog. Y'all thought Valkyrie was loud with some of the noises that thing made? It ain't even close to this, but first things first, let's get you some revs. She's loud, right? She's crazy loud. But now we gotta get you some of these blow-off noises. And with the blow-off noises, we're gonna do it two different ways. We're gonna do some with the hood closed, just so, you know, everyday driving what you sound like. And then I'm gonna open up the hood, which is deafening. And I gotta figure out how to position this camera to do all this. I gotta talk kind of loud here. These are the guys I'm So where I'm at isn't important, but now I've got a little open road right here. Get a little launch action in. I gotta be quick because this is a one-way, right? Nobody ever comes this way, but I gotta make sure that nobody comes back and snatches my camera, because that would suck. So it's by no means a 1320 launch. Keep in mind the 1320 was on drag radials. I am on all-weather tires right now. We got to fix that. We will later on. We got some things in works for the wheels and all that. Got to make some money first. You know, I'm sticking to my business plan. And then we'll try it again. Also, it's hot and this car is boosted. She don't really like the hot air all that much, even though it's a hot V design, which I still think is extremely weird. But anyway, on to the next story. We're headed over to Modern Mercedes. Oh, the sounds of Texas. Anyway, we made it. Modern Mercedes, your one-stop shop. Rim, what's up, bud?
What's going on?
Hey, so I'm filming a video today talking about the Mercedes tax. A lot of people don't understand that brand names have a difference. They have a tax attached to them. I was talking to them about Mopar and how I could fix that thing with a paper clip. For God's sakes, I did quarter-mile drags, literally where the ratchet's still connected to the crank. Drove it to Ennis and did 2 runs with it still attached.
What'd it run?
Not great. That's not the point, though. It was race wars, horrible traction, blah, 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 blah. All the excuses. But I wanted to come show them your shop and then talk about the Mercedes tax. So what do you think? Of all the things we've had to fix on the car so far, like, a lot of people were giving me whole bunch of crap because the car was gone for a cold 6 months where we were figuring out a bewitched issue, which turned out it was me putting the wrong parts on the damn car to begin with. So what do you think?
Realistically, obviously you put an aftermarket oxygen sensor, and while aftermarket isn't always bad as long as you're using the equivalent part, for say if it was a Bosch, probably would have been okay with it, or a Denso. I'm not sure which one was on your
I think
car.
it was a Denso, but
okay.
I think NTK?
NTK.
Oh, that's Justin back there, by the way. That's Meme Master. Today he's Gorlock. Anyway. Anyway, yeah, so one of the biggest things that I have learned in working on this car myself as opposed to Mopar, I could get those parts at AutoZone all day long. First fit would never be a problem. I have definitely learned with this vehicle that I have to cross-reference. I need to go on, I need to either call you guys, bug you about part numbers, I need to hit up Mercedes dealerships, whatever. And it's really ironic because even I told you, Plano Mercedes, they gave me the wrong spark plugs. I had to go back and trade those out. Yeah, so the parts themselves are, yeah. And then it's not like you can just tear this thing down unless you have this guy's experience and just do it. It really tripped me out. He came to the house because he was going to replace a spark plug. He had it done in like 4 minutes, something that takes me an hour and a half because I don't want to break stuff. And he's just ripping it out. So, yeah. So on the last one, what? Between it sitting here, the bill, I mean, we were over almost 5,000 in just on that. And then the time before that, yeah, it was 3,800 for the first portion, and then it messed up, and then when we got it back over here, it was another 1,000 once we got the O2 sensors on.
Yeah, so originally you had some misfire issues. We checked out.
He's downplaying that.
We checked out. Started with the spark plugs, which you mentioned you had changed out. We found different spark plugs. I think it was like 4 and 4. They were different. They still
matter, people.
Somebody still ended up giving you the wrong stuff at some point, or someone did. So, anyways, I think they were like the 276 turbo, like the 43 motor plugs. I think that's what we found out they were. So we're like, okay, plugs, that's not going to be so bad. And then obviously it turned out being more than that. Swapped coils around. The misfires did change, and then so we ended up putting some coils in it, which are super common. We've got one sitting here for reference, just to give you an idea what.
If these things are not properly greased on these boots, getting this out of your cylinder heads.
Yeah, especially if the plugs have been changed and nobody's greased them when they put them in, or they're like way overdue, which happens a lot.
Well, the first time that I did the spark plugs myself, we actually wrapped a shoestring around this to pull it out, right? And I literally just yeeted one across my garage, which is, I'm pretty sure, the one that you replaced. Yeah, so a couple of these have been replaced.
A couple of them. We may be at all of them at this point. They're pretty notorious at this point.
I used all of them. It's cool.
And then we've actually had some that swell up.
Yep, we had one of those.
I don't know if that was
the
on
passenger
you.
side.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I couldn't remember if that one was yours or not.
So while we were finding out that I was retarded with spark plugs, one of the biggest things that happened. So while we were figuring out that I was the one retarded with spark plugs, one of the biggest things that they were chasing is I thought it was something up with the fuel system, right? So changed out a high pressure fuel pump. Changed out injectors because we thought there may be debris in there, drilled out a fuel rail. So the good news is when I'm ready to upgrade fuel, I mean, part of the work's already done.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, on that one side, you would just get a bigger pump as far as that goes. But we would see spark plugs fouled out, and then obviously we'd put new plugs in it. Drive it a little bit, pretty much narrowed it down. We thought we had it once we replaced an injector or two.
Yep.
It went away for a while, quite a while, and then it came back on those cylinders. So, but it was only doing it on cylinders 1 and 2, if I recall correctly. And then, so basically, why just 1 and 2? It's got to be something going on with the fuel system that's closest to where the fuel pump goes in. So we changed out the fuel pump, high pressure pump.
Yep.
For contamination, putting metal shards in it, which is when we ended up drilling it out and cleaning everything up thoroughly. Car drove pretty good for quite a while once again, and then it came back fouling we weren't just on 1 and 2. It ended up, I think the main misfire was on 3 or 4 at that time. Yep. And that's when we're like, what's going on here? Something really weird. Went ahead, changed those injectors out. Didn't really make a difference that time, and then sure enough we look at the oxygen sensor and it's super black and nasty, and it's aftermarket.
And then he had to replace a turbo clamp. Like, it goes on and on and on. What I'm getting at here.
Turbo clamp was leaking, which there's actually a bulletin on that, so that's kind of a known thing. But
oh, well, yeah, not my fault.
But not recall worthy, just bulletin worthy.
We found the perfect way to end this video. This whole thing has been about the Mercedes tax. Let's show them the back of your shirt. Perfect. Come see my guys.